بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا Muhammad ختم الرسل النبيين. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, the sustainer, and the provider of the universe. And peace and blessings be upon our last messenger and prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him and all of those who follow him until the day of judgment, and all other messengers and prophets. Today's message to the youth is about pulling through. I'm going to share a very short story and then give a short reflection, inshallah. Back in the day when I was 10, fifth grade, I went with my family to a family camping, and it was summertime, summer vacation, and it was a group of maybe 50 families in a camp on the beach, and each family had their tent, and it was a very enjoyable and interconnected group. And among the activities that this camp would have were chess competitions. And I was 10-year-old. I went and signed up for that chess competition. And again, 50 families, there's a lot of teenagers, a lot of children and adults, and it was a really nice environment. So I went and signed up for the chess competition, and it was over the course of the camp. So there would be brackets, and every couple of days there would be, another kind of level, and people drop out and so forth. So I watched the first few days, and, we would gather around the two players, and there'd be a lot of us, young people, children, young adults, people in college, adults. And after the second day, I was like, oh my God, I can't compete in this thing. There's some adults here, and they're really sharp, and they're really good at chess. I'm just a newbie here. I'm a 10-year-old kid. What am I, there's no way I'm going to pass or succeed, win in this competition, even my bracket. So I decided I'm going to not join the competition. I'm going to drop out. But I went to the registration place and said, you can't drop out. You already put your name into the competition. You gotta stick through. So I went back, and then the next day was like my turn. So my turn came, the time came, and I went and hid in my tent, in my family's tent. I stayed there. And they were looking for me. I didn't go to the place where the competition is held. Usually it's like the center of the camp. So the organizer came and looked for me. And he came all the way to the tent, and he called my name, and he's like, he spoke with me. He said, you got to attend. I was like, no, I'm going to quit. Someone else can play, or just I'm lost. I just consider me lost, right? And he insisted that he was an adult. He was probably 30, 40 years old, something like that. And I was 10. So he's like 30 years older than me, at least, or 20 years, And he insisted that I have to come out and play my game. And reluctantly, I went, 10-year-old, what are you going to do? You got to listen to the elders, right? So I went and I played, and indeed I did lose. He shook hands and he said, good job. And, I went my way and enjoyed the rest of the camp, played with the kids and went to the beach and all that good stuff. But there was a lesson that I learned. Here we are, decades later, I still remember this incident, right? I remember what he told me. And I remember me sitting down trying to win, but I didn't, right? But the lesson I learned here is that you have to pull through. Even though you think you will win, which in that case I did not, or you think you will lose, which in that case I did, you have to pull through. And there's a beautiful ayah towards the end of Surah Al-Imran, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks to us, believers, and we spoke yesterday in our morning session. We said, we talked about belief, the 6 pillars of belief, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards the end of Surah Al-Imran, the last ayah, beautiful ayah, says what? Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, isbiru, wa sabiru, wa rabitu, wattaqullah la'allakum tuflihun. O you who believe, have patience. Isbiru, it's a command. Be patient. Wasabiru, and persevere. Warabitu, and be steadfast. So first you're going to be patient. Then you're going to be very patient, persevering. So patient, like you know, you're discomfortable. You're not comfortable. You're uncomfortable. There's discomfort. There's lack of convenience. So you're patient, right? But then it turns into a little bit of pain. This discomfort is becoming painful. So you do what? صابروا. You become persevering. You're enduring the pain. ورابطوا. And now the pain is really so tough and it's very strong and the pressure is strong on you. So you are steadfast in the ground. You're trying to put your feet in the ground so the water, the typhoon or the drift, the storm water doesn't drift you away, right? What steadfast. You're putting your foundation stuff or stick in, you know, deep into the ground. Wattaqullah. And above all of this, as you're doing all of this, do what? Be cognizant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be fearful of Allah's dissatisfaction with you. You don't want to disappoint Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happens if you do these things? لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. You shall succeed. So that's a lesson I wanted to share with everyone. We just had our commencement for the internship program a couple of days ago. It was a beautiful event. I was very proud of the youth who put it together. You know, it kind of came a couple of weeks after their finals, and it was after Ramadan and Eid, and you know, people are busy, and it was a tough spot. But most of the people who planned it, they pulled through. They did a really good job, and they made it very professional. But some of the youth just didn't show up. And when I asked them why not, they said, you know, I don't feel that I did very well in my internship, or, you know, I could have done better. Or one other brother said, I didn't prepare my speech. I haven't spoken in such a long time. I didn't prepare. I wasn't ready. And he didn't show up. And another one didn't show up for the same reason, because he felt he was not ready. And that's exactly what I felt decades ago when I was asked to compete in the chess game. I wasn't ready, right? I had not practiced. I wasn't really good in chess. And I was competing against these much older dudes, right? People in college and full-time professional adults and so forth. So the message here is that if we were to apply this ayah, you would show up. You would usbur. You would be patient. You'd be uncomfortable, you'd show up, you're not comfortable. And you would sabiru, and then you would take a little bit of pain of the stress of speaking on camera, not feeling that you're prepared. Warabitu, and then you're going to steadfast when the tough gets going, the going gets tough, as they say, and now it's your turn, and the mic is on you, and all attention is on you. You're going to say something. You're going to say something from the heart, because you have taqwa. You're just going to say, Assalamu alaikum, my name is so-and-so, and I joined the program at this date, and I've learned a few things, 1, 2, 3, and most important thing is the relationships I made with the people. You're going to say something that comes out of your heart. And that's all. That's the taqwa, because the taqwa sits in your heart. At-taqwa ha-huna, taqwa ha-huna, as your beloved prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, the taqwa is in your heart. So if you just talk from your heart, you've achieved that taqwa and you will be successful. So I hope, inshallah, this is a lesson for all of us. You missed out. We're sad not to see you there. We mentioned your name and we mentioned some of your accomplishments, not everyone, because we didn't have time and we probably oversight some of them. But your brothers and sisters did a good job representing you. They shared some of your accomplishments. You'll always be in our heart. We'll remember the fun times we had, and we hope, inshallah, to see you soon in an internship with us. Again, you can apply in July, inshallah, for the next academic quarter, and we'd love to have you back. But the lesson that I wanted to share today on the video is really two things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to you and me. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu. Remember, the ayah starts with, "O you who believe." So if you believe in Allah, if you believe in his messengers, if you believe in the angels, if you believe in the books, if you believe in the hereafter and the unseen, and Allah's preordinance, if you believe in these things, then be a little patient. Endure some discomfort and be strong. because you will succeed if you do these things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والعصر إن الإنسان في خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Indeed, all of mankind is in a state of loss except those who are patient and uphold justice and believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they do the good deeds. Assalamu alaikum.